What's up, everybody?
Yeah, another good evening coming to you from the studio right here just outside of Munford, Tennessee.
Outside of Munford, Tennessee?
Well, I mean, I guess we're right outside of the city limits. Right? Yeah.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I mean, I know this is a mailing address of Munford,
Yeah,
but we're not like live from downtown Munford.
Yeah, we are out of the city limits.
Just barely.
Yep.
I think literally if you cross the road, it's city limits. Isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
They zoned that into the city.
Because I could walk out here and
politicians want those tax dollars.
I could shoot a machine gun right here in the backyard, and there ain't nothing they can do about it.
Yeah.
I might set off some dry ice bombs or something later.
Sounds fun.
Have you not ever done that?
I've never done any type of explosives like dry ice bombs.
Man, we used to do that after school. There was a dude, he lived right down from the school, and we also shot Uzis at his house after school one day, but we made dry ice bombs. And then, luckily, I was not there one time, and he got arrested for making dry ice bombs.
So that's illegal? I
guess so. I know the police came, and he got in pretty big trouble, so I was glad I missed out on that day. But, yeah, I think it's... I don't know how that classifies. Cause
I thought this was America.
I know. Well, we're going to get into that too. We got several pretty good topics. Before we get in, we need to do two things. First, mention our boys over at AgZaga.
Yes, the AgZagaversary is going on right now. As long as you're listening to this in relatively timely fashion. I think it goes through June the 5th.
Okay.
So this episode will drop
into Pride Month.
On the 31st. You have to ask Jared about that.
Like, are they going to fly their pride flag?
You know, thankfully, I've been to the website several times the last few days. I have not seen any Pride Month themed items. But you know, hey, I was bailed some hay with the American flag net wrap. You know, I mean, if they come out with
pride flag,
rainbow flag, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But y'all go to AgZaga, do your shopping, use the code TalkDirt, all caps, all one word. Yep.
Speaking of that too, I was talking to one of our buddies today, and he works for a major grain company, and that's what we were talking about. June is coming, and he was like, "Gosh, dang it!" He's already dreading it because the company he works for will almost certainly have a pride emblem up. Because I'm pretty sure I remember them doing that previously.
Of course, you haven't mentioned any names, but I'm 99.9% sure I know who you're talking about. And he has been at their headquarters before, and like the pride flag is there.
Oh yeah,
and like there's pride themed, stuff around the corporate office, and it's just like
it's a major ag. It's just crazy.
Like an enormous ag company. But yeah, we won't mention names, I guess.
But yes, June is coming. Unfortunately, that's the Pride Month.
And I want to be clear, and I think our audience knows, like, I have no problem with gay people. Like, don't care. I've worked with gay people. I mean, I can think back to when I was a little kid, we had gay people that worked around our office.
Yeah.
Went to school with them. Like, I don't care.
We just don't want
to. I really don't. But that's the thing. I don't care. I'm not, we don't have heterosexual pride.
That's why it annoys me.
Yeah, I'm a dude and I just love vagina.
Yes. I don't put in my bio on everything straight. I feel like why does sexual orientation become your personality?
There's no straight pride flag that I can put on everything. Like, whatever. Do your thing. If you're an adult and you're doing it with another consenting adult, do your thing.
We don't have to know about it.
I don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to know what my neighbor and his wife are doing either. I mean, and when you think about that, it's disgusting to even think about that. Well, hell, why do we get it shoved down our...
Yeah.
And it ain't even for just a month. But all right, that's enough Pride Month talk. Not even Pride Month yet. But.
I agree. What are you drinking?
So, the Traveler. Yeah. The birthday present I gave you, I
was telling you how good it is, so you had to try it out.
No, it is good.
It is, yeah. I had it last week. I drank the Traveler, and I'm pretty happy with it.
What about you?
Man, I've gone back to today. I just poured me some Devil's Cut.
Devil's Cut, that's good Jim Beam.
It is. I've said before, I'm not a big Jim Beam guy, but I actually like Devil's Cut.
something I was just thinking of. Just about exactly 15 years ago, at this time, you were tossing me into a swimming pool.
Oh man, that's right. That's right. Congratulations. Happy anniversary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot. I saw your post earlier, but I forgot we tossed you in there because.
It's been 15 years. Yeah. The reception was winding down. We were getting ready to do our send off in the limo and still in my tuxedo and everything.
And what is it?
The groomsman just couldn't avoid the temptation. Tossed me right in the pool.
Your mom was distraught. Wasn't it your mom? I thought, wasn't some of them distraught? Or no, hold on. Who was it that we put in the pond? Was that
So yeah, we'll fast forward. So my good buddy Lee is one of my groomsmen. What he didn't think about, because I have a feeling he was probably the instigator of the whole deal.
Yeah, I think I remember.
There
him
weren't
being
many
instigator.
innocent people, but knowing Lee, he was probably the one that was really getting it going. And what he didn't think about was he was already. I mean, he knew he was getting married. And it was like 2 months after I got married, and where they had their reception, there was no swimming pool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, but there was a pond.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I realized, like, saw the venue and there's a pond, like, me and the other groomsmen, because several of them had been at my wedding too, were like, yep.
That's right. His mom was distraught.
Yeah, I don't think she was very happy with us, but he was like, dude, he's like, we threw you in a pool. And I was like, look, payback's always a bitch.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't have a pool.
Yeah, and we would have gladly thrown you in a pool had there been one. But,
yeah, dude. I do remember his mom being like freaking out. That was hilarious.
Oh, I don't know why. I mean, it's just water.
Yeah, it's a rental. Oh yeah, man. Well, yeah. Happy anniversary. No better place for you to be spending it than right here at the podcast.
We were originally. I've been off all week, and it's worked out really good because the weather finally broke, and I've been on a tractor every day. I've spent more consecutive days on a tractor this week than I have in 20 years.
Nice.
Just because I've been on. I cut hay for 10 hours on Monday.
I forgot you were on vacation this week.
Well, and we were going to go out of town for our 15th. Because a lot of times we'll do like a one-night getaway.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, whatever. But I was like, all right, we're going to actually go somewhere. Yeah, and we already planned it. We hadn't booked anything. We were going to go to New Mexico, watch quarter horse racing. My wife loves that. She was like, it was getting closer, closer. We just put in a pool. The pool just got done. We need to do all the landscaping. My kids have played ball. Willis has played ball every night this week, except for Monday, because of course it was a holiday. You know, it's just, she was like, no, we don't need to go. Well, then I was like, all right, well, I can work. And then I was like, well, you know what? I could tell hay was going to be an issue. I was like, I'm going to keep my schedule blocked. And that way, if it had been raining all week, I would have gone into the office and worked.
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw the weather broke, it's worked out perfect. Where as long as the rain will give me until at least late tomorrow afternoon, which is not supposed to rain tomorrow night, I should get everything up.
You better get after it. Have you looked at it lately?
I know it's showing for like tomorrow afternoon, like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I was going to say 4 o'clock was what my phone was showing.
Okay.
Because
4 might be cutting it for me. So the little app I use, it actually shows a little chance at 11, but not much. Ooh, now it's showing at 3. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh this in the morning. Because it was dry enough, I probably could have done something with it today, but I was baling some other hay today. I could have at least gotten it raked.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need the wind to blow all night, and so there's not much dew. I can get started.
Yeah, I hadn't.
We didn't have much dew this morning. Had a little dew, but if we could,
the weather's been awesome.
If we could somehow, it's showing like 5 to 7 mile an hour winds all night. Yeah, getting up to about 9 miles an hour in the morning. Yeah, because it's only like 20, maybe 25 acres.
Yeah.
So it won't take me long to get over it. But one man show.
Yeah.
So,
I know all about it. Oh, that's what I've had an interesting week. I've actually kind of done something a little different than I normally do. I've been doing a lot of turbo tilling.
I saw you had done a little.
It's been so freaking wet that and I think I've mentioned this before on the cover crops and stuff. There is some things that there's some give and take to it. Like I always like to kind of explain that a little bit because, I mentioned on the planting green thing, you have to get in there and spray it like immediately upon planting. Like you got to get it sprayed pretty much before the crops come up because they start fighting for fertilizer and all that. And it changes how you can spray it. Well, this that I turbo tilled first, I had actually sprayed one of these fields already, but it was super wet. That's what I planted it today, and it was super wet yesterday, and I got it turbo tilled, and then my farm at Bolton, where I've been doing the dirt work, man, I was driving through water. Like, it was crazy how wet it was.
Damn.
I don't think it would have dried out in a month because I had put cover crop on it. The cover crop was like probably nearly 4 foot tall. And so it's great in a dry year because when it's that tall, it shades ground. It actually holds moisture really well. When you have a wet year like we've had, it just never dries out. And so I had to just finally go in there and I just turbo tilled it. I was going to do one spot and like I just kept going and it was water and I'd go and it would be water. And I finally turbo tilled the whole field. And then I even turbo tilled half of another field. And it was funny. I told my wife, because I'm still 90%. I've always said I'm 90% no-till. I am a minimal tillage guy. But I told my wife, I said, I do remember why. Like, I get why some farmers just want to till. It's just something about it, man. Being a farmer, you just get out there. You just like turning the dirt.
Yeah.
Like, I still, I love no-till, and I'm a believer in no-till, but, like, there was something like yesterday, I finished up, I ran the turbo till like, I don't know, it was 8 o'clock or something. And, it wasn't pitch black dark by any means. I parked the tractor, and I was, like, walking, and it's just the big field, and it's all turbo tilled, and the tractor's parked there, and I'm just looking at it, I'm like, man. And you can just smell the fresh dirt. It hit me. It took me back to the old days of pulling a disc and a do-all. So I did enjoy that, but I also really enjoyed, because I've been running that 8R 340. And I got to tell you, that is a bad dude. That thing, man, yesterday I should have had a drone flying because I put that tractor through stuff that I would never be able to put my tractor through. Like, it was insane, the amount of mud and stuff that I was going through. That tractor never bogged down. And I'm running it on a full auto mode is what it's called. So I already like the name. But it controls all the RPMs based off of the output needed. So you run the RPMs all the way up, and it'll only go up to like 900 RPMs. And then you'll be turbo tilling, and it might only be turning 1400 RPMs. But like if you get in something heavy and it kind of starts to load it it's got a little bar down here and it shows engine output. As it's having to put out more, your RPMs will increase and it'll go up to like 2000 RPMs. But man, I mean, I literally was driving through stuff that I've never been able to get through. Like yesterday, where on the farm I cleared, I had 3 big push-ups a couple years ago. I buried them. Where I buried them, it's been like mini ponds almost.
It's kind of slowly settling.
Yes. And so I've been like, every year I just keep working, hoping that because I have not worked it up since then. I just keep hoping, well, eventually because that's what Dad's like, eventually it'll kind of fill itself in and it'll be all right. Dude, yesterday I went through all of them. Like, I mean, one of them, it was like I was a little bit nervous going into the first 2 because they were so freaking wet. And by the third one, man, I told Marcia I needed a wheelbarrow to put my balls in because I was like, I would have gone into anything at that point. Like, I was just ready to go.
It's impossible to get it stuck.
Oh, yeah, which I had gotten it stuck earlier. You saw that picture?
Yeah.
So I'll give a little rundown on that. I got it stuck not pulling the turbo till. The turbo till was hooked up, but I was actually driving it.
You were driving in, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like from the picture.
Yeah, dude.
You were folded up and everything.
I was driving it in to go back there where we had cleared. I was just going to hit it because Derek had done a really good job like sweeping it with the dozer. So I was like, I can just turbo till this. I got in there and I was trying to drive around through there to get in there, and I was easing in there, and I had to go through a little mud hole. And man, I get in there, and the left side of the turbo till goes off in a hole, And right as it goes off in a hole, my right rear or my left rear tire on the tractor kind of goes in a hole. And I'm like, oh crap. And the turbo till is down enough that now the blades, even with the tires picked up all the way, the blades are actually hitting the ground.
Yeah.
And I try to like back up, and it'll back up, but then it backs up till the other blades hit the ground. And then I try to go forward and it hits the ground. And I'm like, and I just progressively was digging the tractor. Like, and I know because I've seen the pictures and I've seen guys do it where they just, you keep trying to get out of it and you end up just absolutely burying the tractor. And I mean, this tractor, again, it won't bog down. And so I was digging the shit out of that ground with that tractor, and I finally just had to, like, word to the wise here, if we got somebody listening and you get a turbo till or disc or something stuck, you're by yourself trying to figure out what to do, you need a good chain, and you can probably get out of this. So what I did, and I've done this a few times, luckily my low boy was there, so I walked up there, got my little workout in, grabbed some of my 1/2-inch chain and put it on my shoulders and walked back there. I was mad, man, I was mad as hell too, but I carried it back there and I got the pin off the tractor. I had to use a T-post because I didn't have any tools, but I got the pin out and I just was able to drive the tractor up out of the ruts. And then I got a 20-foot 1/2-inch chain. I hooked it to the tractor, hooked it to the turbo till, like where I can get up on dry ground. And I was able to just pull the turbo till up out of there. And then I hooked back up, and I was still going to go try to do some work over there. And as I was like driving over there, I was running off in holes. So I finally was like, man, I'm getting the shit out of here. And I just turned around and just got out before I got it stuck again.
Yeah.
But tractor is bad, man. It's really bad. Did we talk about the like comfort thing on here?
Yeah, we talked about all that.
Because that's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, I mean, I was in that tractor all day yesterday. I was in it for half the day today. Shit, I could run that tractor.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the old days when just you didn't care what the seat was like as long as you had some air conditioning.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm kind of like that with my two tractors. And they're not significantly different as far as the cab packages. One's 10 years newer. You're like, yeah, if I got to sit in one all day, I'd rather sit in that one than the other one.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what it kind of ruined me. Because I get in my 8420 today to plant, and I'm like, man, this
tractor sucks.
Yeah, I'm like, this tractor's 20 years old, and I can tell.
Well, it's the thing, like you don't ever, it's like I drive that old Jeep, and I've driven old pickup trucks, and I've never, but my wife, we just traded, or we sold my F-250, which I still kind of regret that, and basically bought the one that my parents just sent in. But it's I don't know, it's like, I guess it's the LTZ package.
Oh yeah,
Chevy.
Yeah.
I still don't.
Jerks you off when you drive.
I don't know. It's an appropriate Pride Month truck. But hell, it's got.
It's straighter than your previous one.
I don't know, man. Chevrolet. I don't know.
You've come to the light.
I've never had one with a backup camera. Now, my wife's SUV has a backup camera.
I thought your F-250 had a backup camera.
Now, I had an XLT. I don't need that crap.
Yeah.
But hell, it's got the backup. It's got like the regular backup camera. Then it's got one where you can, like, if you're backing up specifically to hook up for your bumper pull. And it's got also one if you're hooking up for gooseneck. It's like on your little back of the cab.
Oh, hey, that's pretty handy.
Which, I mean, that makes sense. If you're going to have a backup camera to help you hook up a bumper pull trailer, if it's a 3/4 ton truck, you ought to have one for, obviously, you're pulling a gooseneck a lot of times. And just stuff like that. It's got like that Apple CarPlay. I'm like, good grief. Like, my Jeep has an aftermarket Bluetooth radio that I put in there from Walmart that costs like $22.
Yeah.
That, if I hit a bump too hard, it'll like cut off. And I'm as happy as I could be with that. So yeah, but it's when you start, it's why you almost don't ever want to even drive anything nicer.
Oh, I know. Well, and that's
because you think what you got is great, and then it's like, oh man.
Well, and that's what I've always kind of felt like, because I've run some of the newer, like I ran some of the early R series, like the 8310R, like Frankie, he had one, I ran his on 205, and I ran some of those, and I honestly was never that impressed with the power. Like Dad and I always have kind of said, the power of those those earlier R series tractors, just they had all the DEF crap on them. I think John Deere was still kind of figuring it out, so we never were real impressed with the power. Now they got that 8345R now, but it's like a 20 or 21 model or something. Now, that's pretty dang stout, but they got it figured out. But I've always kind of, I've always been like, well, yeah, my 8420, she's wide open. She ain't got none of the EPA stuff on there. Well, today I kind of got a humble pie with this thing. And it's a stout tractor. I mean, my 8420's got about 295 horsepower. So, I mean, it's no slouch. But that 8R340, I'm going to say, has every ounce of 340 horsepower. I was planting today, and I went around this mud hole, and I knew it was pretty sticky there. Well, what gets you stuck is the mud will actually pile up in front of your tires, and your tires will stop turning, and then they just start dragging, and then you just start pushing a wall of mud, and that's how you get stuck.
Yeah.
And you can't, if you pick the planter up, it just makes it worse. So you have to you really just have to try to ride it out and get out of there. Or, I mean, even backing up usually don't help. So you just gotta hope that you can get out. Well, I went through that mud hole, and man, I saw a little wall of mud building up, and I was like, come on, baby. And I locked the differential and, kind of gouged her in the next gear, and it started bogging itself down. I'm like, oh shit. And so I was gearing down, and it finally it cleaned out enough that I was able to get out of there. I can assure you, I mean, I never bogged down that 340 like that. Yeah. I texted the sales rep yesterday, and I was like, this is the baddest damn tractor I've ever drove. I said, this thing is a monster. And he said, you need it. I said, if you'll give me $400,000 for my 8420, I'll trade today. Because it's $450,000 sticker.
It's all about that trade difference. Yeah.
Yep. And that's what I told him. I said, you give me $400K for my 8420, we got a deal. They just laughed. But I got to tell you, man, it's a badass tractor. And people, I'm in some Facebook groups. People like to shit on modern tractors because they claim I saw it today. My 8420 ain't got shit on the new R Series John Deere's.
Yeah. But it all comes down to, you still can't make that pencil out.
Oh, hell no, yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you get your 8420 stuck, it's still better value than a $500,000 tractor.
Yes. Yeah. For me, and that's, which driving home, it was kind of funny. After running that thing yesterday, I was driving home yesterday or last night, and I passed by a big operator's field, and he had 6 of them lined up out there. 5 of them had planters on the back of them. One of them had, I couldn't even tell what it was, but it was literally 6 8R tractors.
Yeah.
And it's like, gosh damn. I mean, because them things are new. The one we got new is, I think, 525.
Yeah.
Because it's the signature series. Oh, I got an ass massage quite a bit when I've been running it. I'll just flip it on while I'm running.
Yeah, Kubota doesn't worry about that. Hey, again, growing up, driving an open station tractor with a vinyl seat, you have swamp ass.
Dang, yeah.
Just having air conditioning, I'm like, man, this is great.
Well, see, this has cooled seats. Yeah. And that's the bet, because that vinyl seat, man, used to give me, I'd have the worst chafing in my ass. Whew, yeah. Called it the galded ass.
Gold bond.
Yep, man. That was what the 1066 and all them, man, after running them all day, shit, you'd be waddling around.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's if I could pencil out a $500,000 tractor, I'd have me one. But I can't even pencil out $100,000 tractor.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, it's let's see, I had a note. Okay, I couldn't remember if we had talked about the comfort thing, but I was thinking we had. But yeah, that and the tillage. That does before I get into I want to jump on the big farmers thing. Told Bobby Lee I had something I wanted to talk about on that. Before I do that, we got a couple of emails here I was going to read real quick. This first one comes in from Mitch. Mitch says, Bobby Lee, how do you help control flies on your cattle? Also, can I get a copy of your feed out program? Love the show. Look forward to many more episodes. Mitch, we appreciate you writing in, and yeah, I'll get Bobby Lee your email.
Yeah, send me his email and I'll email him that PDF.
He stands out there actually with a fly swatter.
Yeah.
He just slaps them.
My kids, I send my kids out there with two, fly swatter in each hand.
Yep.
And doubles their efficiency.
You need to get one of those salt guns so you can like sit there and shoot them.
I implemented a variety of methods. I have not used fly tags in a few years. I think there is some value in fly tags when used the right way. Of course, for people, it's just an ear tag that you can think
like the blue ones.
Oh, they come in all different colors depending on which one you use, and there's protocols for how you need to rotate them because there's different classes of insecticides, and basically, obviously that tag, it's just impregnated. It's almost, you can think of it like your dog wearing a flea and tick collar.
Okay.
They got that collar around their neck, but it keeps fleas off their whole body. It's kind of where the fly tag works. Some people think you need to put one in each ear. We will use back rubbers. So, again, people aren't familiar. It's like a big tubular. Sock. Yeah, it looks like an enormous sock that's probably 12 feet long, 10 feet long.
Yep.
But
and it looks like a sock, like even the material.
Does. Yeah, it's like a cotton outside. The inside, I don't know. I have seen inside. It's just a real absorbent. And then you can put what they call face flips on them, which are basically just strips of cotton that hang down. And you do like an oil mix with your insecticide or your fly spray, and that's just for the cows to walk under, and it kind of wipes over their back.
Burnt diesel, or burn oil. Yeah, if you got burn oil, that's perfect.
I use kind of a combination of burn oil.
I think we put diesel in there.
Diesel. I usually go 50-50 burnt motor oil, diesel, and then with the appropriate amount of insecticide.
What do you use, permethrin?
There's different ones. There aren't a lot of them you can get your hands on anymore. But
what is python dust? I've sprinkled that on my cows.
I'm not even sure, and that'll work. Like if you've got just a few, like we'll use that like on our bulls.
Yeah.
Because the bulls, once we're done breeding, they kind of come back to the house more or less, and we're feeding them a little bit every day. And I can get out there, but obviously I'm not going to dust off, 120 or whatever the other animals. So back rubbers, you can also use like there's smaller versions of the back rubbers you can put like on your mineral feeders and whatnot that'll, where they're sticking their head in, at least keep them off their face.
Yeah, you need it where they're going to walk. Obviously, if you I don't know if they would use it a whole lot if you just put it out in a random. I mean, they might would.
A back rubber, they will.
Will they?
Because they like to get under stuff and scratch.
Yeah.
But the face is really where the flies can be a problem, especially with like pink eye.
Eyes, yeah.
We also, and I haven't done much yet this year, which if you're going to use the fly control mineral, which we have done that a bunch in the past, you need to be using it from like a week or two before your last frost all the way through, maybe even a week or two past your first frost of the fall.
Does it work?
So what it does, it's basically, you can think of it as being birth control for the flies. It has an insect growth regulator. And so there's still flies around, but flies breed in the cow shit.
Yeah.
And so, and lay their eggs there. And basically those eggs are sterile or won't hatch. And so most people will tell you that's going to work really good if you don't have a lot of neighbors nearby. Because if your neighbor has a herd of cows and he's not using it, well, it doesn't matter because all of his cow manure is perfectly fine for the flies to reproduce in, which would work for me.
I was going to say, what kind of distance are we talking here?
I don't know how far they say a fly, from where they'll breed to where they may end up. But definitely on one farm, and really probably on both of them, I could, and I was not good about going ahead and getting the fly control mineral. And I've known people, actually our granddad, he used to, he'd mix up fly spray like in his sprayer on the four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Well, you can go to agzaga.com. They got the big ones. I got one that goes in the back of my side-by-side now. I don't know if you want to mix up that much fly spray. But he just go out there to the cows, and especially like during the heat of the day when they're all wadded up and under a shade tree, and just douse them. And I've actually, I haven't done it in that matter with a battery-powered sprayer, but just with like a hand pump, like a little 2-gallon sprayer, like you'd spray around your, garden or something. I actually used to do that in the mornings because my calves do come up to the feed bunk. I probably ought to start doing that again. That's easy to do because if they're all around the feed bunk, I can, especially that group, there's 67 of them. I can spray them all pretty dang good in just a few minutes.
That would be good. I know the python does that. Like I said, I got just a handful of cows over here, and when I'd put mineral out or some feed out for them, they'd come up and eat. I would just get them. Bad part is they figure out what you're doing and they don't like it.
They don't understand. But then the good thing about that is too, if it's not raining like that stuff, I mean, you can tell, especially.
Oh, they look like Scarface when I get done with them.
Black-hided, yeah.
Yeah, they're. Man, I've had them because I'll just sling I'll open up the lid on it and just sling it, and it'll be like a poof of white, and the cow opens its eyes and his face. I mean, it literally makes me think of Scarface when he just shoves his face in the cocaine.
Yeah.
A fly will travel 13 miles from its birthplace.
All right.
So you're wasting your time.
I don't think that's necessarily accurate with face flies.
It even says 20 miles, as far as 20 miles to find food.
I think reasonably though, if you're using it and you don't have a neighbor within a mile.
It says they normally stay within 1/2 to 2 miles of their point of origin.
It seemed like I was thinking that. If you don't, the 1/2 mile is what I was wanting to say. But yeah, all combination of stuff, and I have not been very proactive yet this year, which means I'm probably just going to be down to getting my back rubbers up, and then a lot of times I'll use that with my cow herd at home, and then my yearlings were running up the road because they do come to a feed bunk every day, even if it's only for 5 minutes. I'll have my little hand pump sprayer, and I can just open that sucker wide up, and because I'll have my bunk close enough they're just kind of all one wide, and I'm just raining.
Yeah. How often do you need to spray them?
I'll do that every morning. But yeah, it's flies can be a problem, and I've noticed, and it seems like we say this every year, but man, it seems like flies are gonna be bad this year.
Yeah, good gosh, they have been terrible this year.
I know they were wearing my horses out. We got home from T-ball game, and my son was down there, and it was fun to him. He was killing horse flies that were on the horses. Well, good for you, buddy.
When I was pulling the trying to get the tractor out yesterday, I had left the door open, and there was 4 horse flies that got in the cab with me.
Oh.
So yeah,
that's when the sadistic side of me comes out. Have I ever told you how I just like to pull a wing off of them and leave them alive?
I think you have. Yeah.
And I've always wondered. I was like, man, do I have some serial killer?
I was gonna say sounds a little serial killer, little Jeffrey Dahmer.
I don't want to just kill him. I want that sucker to suffer. He can get eaten by some ants while he's still alive.
Well, do you ever cut them up with a knife?
Horse flies? No, I don't ever have that much time.
Man, I'll catch them.
A lot of times, if they're on the dash, I will just grab it and pinch his head off,
Yeah.
The dog eats a bunch of them. God knows how much protein my dog gets from eating horse flies. Once they get inside the cab.
I'll cut them in half. Even wasps. I get weird and I'll dissect them a little bit. If I get them.
Well, wasp, I'm not going to mess with, but sometimes on a horsefly, if I'm trying to grab one and I just grab it by the wing, I'm like, all right, I just pull that one wing off and throw him outside. All right, buddy, I hope you die a slow, painful death.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I hate horseflies.
Oh, that's my thing.
They know. They'll get right in the middle of my back. They do it to cows, and they do it to me. I've seen them. They'll get right in the middle of my back and be, all of a sudden, it feels like someone has just stuck a hot match to your back.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Those bastards.
Like I said, we've been out in the swimming pool. The suckers will start buzzing you when you're in the pool. God dang.
They light on top of your head.
Yep.
Man, yeah, I hate a horsefly. I hate all them things. I got a tick off of me today. I've gotten ticks off of me a ton already this year. I got one Lone Star tick off of me.
But yeah, to answer your question, I've kind of done a little bit of it all when it comes to those things. The mineral's probably the easiest thing to do. It's just if you hadn't already been doing it this year, you're a little bit behind the 8 ball there. But I should have been more proactive on that. But
well, there you go. Yeah, and I'll actually copy and send your
I'll send
email real quick to Bobby Lee, and he'll shoot you that over.
Yeah, by the time you're hearing this, you should have already gotten the email.
Boom, sent over. Mitch, appreciate you writing that in, man. Always write in. Don't hesitate. Go to talkdirtpodcast.com contact page and do that there. Urge you to write in that way because it's just easier for us to keep up with.
Yeah.
All right. Connor writes in, howdy fellas, I've been listening to your guys' podcast quite a bit recently. Thanks for everything you do. I'm an aspiring hog farmer up here in Alaska. Man, now that is pretty cool. He says, and obviously really small scale, but I just have a question for you guys about demand and navigating your market. I don't feel like I'd be able to drive demand just by having more hogs available, whether I'm selling feeders or whether I'm selling them for pork. But I also want to have pork available when people want it. So when do you guys determine you should put more money into growing your operation or just kind of invest in improving your facilities and current operation? Thanks, guys. All right, that's, I'm wanting to get into selling beef at the store, but this is still, I'm not in that ballpark yet. I'll let you kind of handle that one.
And I have no idea what the markets are like in Alaska, because that's obviously really
small crowd, I would think.
Well, and it's going to be just, probably different than the lower 48. But as far as hogs, like, if you just want to be selling feeder pigs right now, I don't even know that you can. Like, since the 90s when they took hogs down to nothing. Like there are no independent hog growers of any size. Everybody is either contract growing for, somebody like Tyson, or they're, just handling a few to sell direct. They're using, they're basically butchering their own or got a, kill slots at a local meat locker. If I just wanted to build some barns and, feed out a bunch of pigs and take them to town to a sale like we do with cows, there is none of that anymore. Which is always kind of the cautionary tale. A lot of us keep beating the drum about with cattle, where we need to watch, cattle are kind of following the same path that pigs are, which there's some barriers with cattle, in terms of it's not as easily vertically integrated as the hogs were. But yeah, I would, and maybe there are some feeder pig auctions in Alaska. I don't know. I would kind of be surprised to learn that there were. But yeah, if you were wanting to do smaller scale, I don't know, depending on how populous the area you are, if you're near one of the population centers, you maybe could feed out quite a few. And again, the next thing I would either want to have my own meat locker, possibly that I was operating, or just, the easier route would have a local meat locker that could handle them, and go ahead and book your kill dates before you get a bunch of them fed out, ready to be killed, because if it's anything like it is around here, they're booked like a year in advance. But I got a friend I buy. We don't have to buy hardly any pork at the grocery store, because at Christmas he texted me and said, I got some hogs ready. And it's like, oh hell yeah, go ahead and put my name on one of them. And I went and picked it up a couple weeks later, in a cooler. That's what I always say. Because I fed pigs out for 2 years in a row. Now I fed out 2 one year and 3 the next. It wasn't like I was doing any kind of scale, but that would probably be what I would focus on, especially if you want to ease into it.
I think
be sure you got a local locker that can handle butchering them, packaging them. At least the way it is here, they don't necessarily have to be USDA inspected. As long as you're technically selling the animal. Then obviously, if you got demand, you've got enough people in your area that are looking to buy, a locally grown pork, as opposed to just buying something at the supermarket. But
that's man. I think the direct to consumer thing is the ticket. That's,
the thing in ag right now, we got to get away from selling commodities. If you're just selling a commodity product, you have to be
huge,
massive to make those, because that's the way a commodity works. Like it finds like the lowest price at which you can even remotely be profitable, and that's where the price sits. And you
can't make a $500,000 tractor pencil out unless you're running a lot of acres.
Yeah, if you're selling local, one, you're cutting out the middleman. In the meat, the meat world, like in beef cattle, for instance, the person who has the most time and money and energy invested is the cow-calf guy or the cattleman, and he gets the smallest slice of the pie of profits from selling meat, ultimately. And so, if you can take that all the way to the consumer, you can cash in on those. Now, your margins are tougher because I was actually listening to another podcast talking about this. When you're not one of those huge, multinational, meat processors where, they've got a way to sell every single byproduct out of that pig.
Yeah.
They're selling, the organs for different things, the eyeballs, or all of it is used for something, and some of it doesn't bring much at all, but there's a little margin there. The hides, everything. If you're selling like around here, I know the guy I buy mine from. I mean, no, they like all that is just waste. It's just rendered, for compost basically. And so but the big groups they can utilize and get a few pennies, extra pennies out of every carcass off those byproducts basically. And
well, I think, man, one of the things, again, like you say, the direct consumer thing, but I'll tell you what's really taking off right now, we're seeing a lot more of, is selling your meat online. And if you can figure out a way,
be USDA inspected there, yeah.
And I know the shipping, you have to figure out the shipping, because I shipped some deer meat to a dude in Texas a couple years ago, and the shipping was like $120, and it wasn't a ton of deer meat. So the shipping tore me up. So you'd obviously have to figure that out. But I think that's kind of the route I'd go. Like we've said it before, you get big or create your own market. And that's kind of what you got to do. That's...
Yeah, and you're getting a premium for it. People are buying a premium product. It's locally raised.
Yep.
It's all, when they open up or thaw out a pack of your sausage, it's not, ground up from, 30 different pigs, that were all on the line that, and not that makes it unsafe to eat, grocery store sausage or anything, but, they know the story behind it. And, it is a niche product, but it's a premium product. And so
yep, you can charge a premium,
charge a little more for it. And yeah, you can make a little money. I don't know that you ever get rich, but yeah.
There you go, Connor. Hope that helped you out, man. Keep us posted. Right back in. Let us know what you decided. Let us know if we helped you out at all, or if we just made you more confused, or whatever. We appreciate you writing in. Like I said, all y'all.
If you want to have us up there for a moose and like a bear hunt, we'll do some on-site consulting for you.
Yes, yes. That would be great. I was supposed to go on a bear hunt in Alaska.
Caribou. I mean, I'm open to any of it.
Maybe just Austin,
some fishing even.
Me and Austin Legg were supposed to do a bear hunt in Alaska, and we were going to stay on it was called a yacht, but that sounds way too fancy for what this was. It kind of looked like the ship in Jaws that they're out. Have you seen the first Jaws? Yeah. They're in kind of like that small, and it's got like a little living quarters. This was kind of like that. Like it was, but that's where we would stay. We'd stay in this little yacht, and then we'd go out on, I don't know, it wasn't a fog neck. I don't remember what part of Alaska it was, but we were going to bear hunt, and then it ended up falling through. But
yeah.
So yeah, man, but that's pretty neat. Alaska, I don't know the first thing about the markets in Alaska.
I did find out just in the last week or two, we did get drawn for our elk tag this year.
To where to? Wyoming?
Wyoming.
Nice.
Which we were pretty confident. I think we had like 8 preference points. But, so yeah.
At some point, I'm gonna have to get out there.
I need to get in shape.
Got to get you on the iron. Get you on the iron game.
I talked to the outfitter the other day because he had called and he's like, "Yeah, y'all got drawn." I was like, "Yeah, yep." He's like, "Yeah, get on your exercise bike." And I was like, "Normally I just run." A little harder on the knees to run, but I mean, when I'm hiking in the mountains won't carry.
No, they will not. They will not. All right. Write in any questions you got, any topics you got. I actually want to get a response on this next topic. So I put up the story on Instagram about the jorts.
Oh, yeah.
So I was going to look here. So the statistic, right? And I'll pose the question to our audience if you don't follow me or not on Instagram, whatever. My wife and I have been in a debate. And I said, are jorts, for those of you that don't know, that's jean shorts. So you've got jeans, they've been cut off, shorts, proper length would be above the knee. It's all I wear now. I got my shorts on right now. But I don't have jorts. My wife hates them. She says they're not back in style. And I said they are. So are jorts back in style? And right now we're sitting at 58% absolutely, 42% no. And it's pretty like 23 votes for yes and 17 for no. So, I mean, they're fairly close, but, I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good numbers there so far.
Which I voted yes, but with the caveat, like I don't want to like go to the store and buy a pair of jean shorts. They're like all like
perfect.
Like perfectly like hemmed. But every pair of blue jeans I have, which mine are bad about blowing out either in the crotch
that's
or like
where
the
mine blow
pocket
out.
and stuff.
Yep.
And so, but if I ever have a pair where I rip the knee out of them, like I ain't throwing those babies away. I'm cutting them off, and I got me a pair of I mean, not like Daisy Dukes, but I mean, you know what I mean. Some cut off jean shorts, not as short as Daisy. You know, she made them look a lot better than I do. But.
Yeah, well, you want them above the knee.
Oh, yeah. I remember it was a pair of Levi's. I had them suckers since I was like one of my favorite pair of jeans. Just something about them, and like I could never, even if I bought another model of them, I wouldn't like them like I did those. But they got so threadbare, like over the knee, and then I wore them as jorts for a while, and then it was like over my pockets where I would carry my keys. It was like literally they were just like
falling apart,
like transparent. Like they were so thin. I got a pair of, they're not really jeans, but a pair of old Carhartt pants that I actually wear them all the time.
That you've converted.
Because if I come home, because the other nice thing about that, because I'm wearing some gym shorts basically now. All it's got is the 2 pockets.
Yeah.
Like, but when you put on those, like it's got all your pockets, just like your blue jeans or your work pants have.
Yeah.
But with all the breathability of a pair of shorts. I wear those shorts all around. And like I'll wear them into town. Like I wear them around the house a bunch too, but like I mean I don't mind going to town with a pair of old cut off shorts on.
Well, that's what I
don't want them to church, but
that's like the retro rifle shirt that's coming out. I thought this shirt looked awesome, the new one.
Yeah.
And that's what I was like, that one with some jorts would look pretty sick.
But like the ones you shared on that picture, I'm like, I don't think I would wear those.
The shorts?
Yeah.
No, I don't want the. Oh, you're talking about the jorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying too hard.
They've got the frayed edge. They look too perfect.
They're trying to make them like you're buying them like that. Like, no. Mine
well, then you are. That's Born Primitive makes those.
Like, no. I'm like legitimately like, no, these were jeans that I wore for years that I've now turned into jean shorts.
I would do that, but again, I'm like my crotch blows out in all mine.
Yeah,
I've told my wife my balls are too big.
Yeah, apparently.
Because I mean, it literally, but it
that
usually
like my back pockets because I'm carrying so much crap.
My back pockets don't get too bad. It's either
you carry your wallet in your back pocket.
Yeah. Now I take it out when I like get in a tractor or something.
Yeah, but like
it'll hurt my back.
Phone a lot of times.
Do you put it in your back pocket?
My phone, unless I've got like the cool pants with the side pocket.
Have you worn the? We both got our hats on. Have you worn the Ag Gear pants?
Yes, I bought 2 pair.
Man, I love those. I got 2 pair. They are awesome.
They are. I need to get on one of their calls. I saw they had one tonight. We were playing t-ball.
I haven't gotten on one yet either.
Yeah, for people, they're not a sponsor. They should be, but they're really lightweight. Like they're summertime pants, 100%.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see them, and I would be surprised if they didn't come out with like a heavier like cotton pant.
I bet you because they
more
got the
like, and I hate to mention a competitor, they're more like a Carhartt duck style pant.
Well, they got
I still really like those thick.
The shirt called the Harvester. Have you worn it? It's actually thick. It's my favorite shirt.
Yeah. I've got a Harvester. I actually wore my hay baler shirt today because I was on the hay baler.
Yeah, but I love I even bought a short sleeve Harvester. I got the long sleeve that I wear during harvest. But it's the thick material.
Yeah, I got one of those. I got the hay baler, and then I think the stockyard, which they're both like.
Which the pants.
Warm weather.
They're called. Are they cultivator? Is that what the pants are called? Cultivators.
That sounds right.
I wore 1 pair today. Yeah, and I can tell the crotch is made properly. It doesn't have the seam running down the middle. It's like I don't know what they call it.
I've only worn mine a couple of times. I wear them mainly to work because they're nice enough.
Have you spilled water on them yet?
Yeah.
Did you notice it just beads up and runs off?
And that's good because like
I piss myself, it'll just run right down the leg.
Well, around the vet clinic, we get piss and blood and all sorts of stuff on us all the time. And but yeah, I would like for them to come out with like a heavier pant too.
Yeah. Well, we need to tell Robert.
I imagine. I mean, because they're obviously a fairly new company. They're coming out with new products all the time. So
yeah, but they are awesome. The super comfortable pants. They're stretchy, like that. They got a lot of movement. Yeah. And they're awesome. All right, so write in. I want to know, what do y'all think? Are you gonna wear the jorts, or are they back in style? What do you think? Are they awesome? Whatever. Let's hear it.
I'm really at that age where I really don't care. I mean,
well, that's how. I mean, the fact that I
mean, I take my hat off and you see like my hair, like like I really don't care. Like I'm all about like if I want to wear it, it's in style. Like, well,
that's how I am.
Well, I mean, it's in style for me. Like, I really don't care.
We both, I feel like, are similar because we both rock the hell out of our retro rifle shirts.
Oh yeah.
And I think those shirts are badass. And I mean, look, I'm
wearing
the shirt I got you for your birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah, you gave this to me from birthday a couple of years ago.
Yep, awesome shirt. Saw it and it had your name written all over it.
I guess, it's like a Hawaiian shirt, but it's got cows on it and the red, white, and blue.
And it's very American.
Yeah.
But I won't mention any names, but there's a person in particular that. Or several. There's several people actually that'll like give me shit over my retro rifle shirts. They're like, "What is that? What are you wearing?" And I'm like, "Dude, I love this shirt." I'm like, I love the freaking, like, I've always loved loud shirts. Like, I was actually thinking about it today because I was going to mention this on the show. I was thinking back. Do I remember when Marcy and I were dating? We weren't married yet, so it's been, oh man, probably 12 years ago we were dating. And we went, this was back when Wolf Chase Mall, you could still go and you didn't have to be packing heat to go in there. And I went in there and there was this, we were in like Macy's because she was looking for something. And there was this shirt and it was a button down and it was like all this loud paisley design on there. And I was like, that is the most pimp shirt I've ever seen. And I remember I bought that shirt, and that was like what set me on my, like, that was the early beginnings of my voyage into like loud patterns. And dude, I love them, like, because I'm like, you gotta know who you are to rock like a loud pattern. You just gotta not care. You can't care.
Man, I'm 40, almost 41 years old. Got a smoking hot wife. Like, I really don't care what anybody else thinks.
Well, that's it. That's me. I'm 33, and I've told people that, like teenagers. I've talked to, like, I guess my nephew. I've told him, like, dude, nobody, like, I like, don't stress over who's cool in high school. Like, I'm like, because when you get out of here, it don't matter. Like, nobody gives a shit. Like I said, that there is. I don't ever hardly even see anybody I graduate with anymore, but that's where I'm like, don't worry. People worry too much about what other people think. Like, even doing this podcast, I mean, I'm sure there's people that probably like, man, Logan and Bobby Lee, they don't know shit. Like, it's like, I don't care.
You might be right.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't know a lot about. But, hell, I mean, just don't give a shit what other people think. But my wife, she does have one of the few opinions that I'm like, well, because we've mentioned before, the wives they hold a certain power over the man. And so
absolutely. Well, my wife, and she says this all the time. People are like, Lord, are you just going to keep letting him grow his hair out? She's like, hey, I don't have to worry about any other women coming after me.
That's what I need to tell Marcy about if I'm going to wear some jorts. But like, look, hey, you ain't got to worry about no chicks even checking me out.
It's like chick repellent.
That's a positive way to look at it.
I'm really not trying to pick up chicks. Like, I don't know. Like, if something happened to my wife and all of a sudden I was thrust back onto the dating scene in my mid 40s, like,
would you shave your head?
I don't know. Like, it's kind of one of those things. It's like when you first have a mustache, where like you shave, like you've been wearing a beard, you're kind of scared of the mustache. Then you get out of the mustache, you're like, it takes you so long to get used to it.
And then you get used to it and you like it.
And now, like, I mean, like, yeah, and I mean, it's you.
Yeah.
And so the more I like the hair's kind of become like I couldn't imagine not having hair again.
Yeah.
And like literally, I mean, this time a year ago, my head was slick as that table.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, today.
I need to go get it just trimmed like around.
Well, you've been
ears.
saying that for 2 months.
Well, I need to actually do it because and like I've been wearing a hat all week because it's been on a tractor, but it's like, man, the hair's just coming out everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to be like, don't touch the top or the back, but I just trim it off my ears.
Yeah.
So I need to call your mom one day.
I was going to say, you know a hairdresser that'll do it.
When I've got a rainy day and I can get up there to see her. But.
Well, I had a meltdown over my planter. Well, I had a small one today because he was giving me issues. But a week ago, when I was talking about that thing that broke off and I said I almost chopped into my finger off, I had a meltdown then, and part of it was due to my hair because my hair is pretty long. I mean, I had it was it last week or the week before? I had it in a full ponytail on here. Yeah. And my hats don't fit my head as good anymore. Like my hair is so long, and man, I was working on this damn thing on the planter, and my hat. You can can you feel it? Like I can feel my hat. Like if I'm doing something working, like I feel my hat almost working its way up my head.
See, I mean, I don't have too much trouble in the front.
Yeah.
My hair in the front's not.
Well, see, I slick it all back.
Well, that's what I do too with what I have.
Yeah. But it'll start working up, and then my hat will fall off. And if I'm like looking down, working on something, my hat will fall off, and then my hair just goes and falls in front of my face. And if I'd had a razor, I'm surprised I dang near didn't take a knife and just cut my hair because I got so mad. I took my hat and I just threw the hat. And I was like, F this hat, and like threw it, and just was literally like working
with
it.
About like a do-rag?
I ought to get a do-rag, or I still actually, man, I kind of like rocking the samurai thing where I just pull the top back and leave the back down.
You do like a bandana like old Willie Robertson used to do.
I could do a bandana, yeah. Well, I told Marcy, I said if the landowner, because I was right behind her house, and it probably sounded like a World War II movie out there with the things I was saying and what I was doing. And then if she had seen me, my hair, because I finally just gotten so mad, I just quit pushing it out of my face. So my hair is like down over my face and I'm sweating, and like I probably looked like a crazy person, and I'm over there throwing F-bombs and like chunked a hammer, and like I'm going nuts. And then I finally just welded the thing on there, and then I was good after that. But yeah, I probably looked like a maniac for a little bit.
Yeah.
But, you got to have a temper tantrum sometimes. I feel like that.
Yeah, release a little frustration.
It is, yeah. It's, I think you got to do that sometimes. Let me see. I think I have one more. Well, I got another topic, but we're pretty much about at the end of the line here, and this is a topic I don't want to cut short. Yeah. So I'm going to save it. You got anything?
No, man, it's just been, I know you're the same way. You talking about you might go back and get on the planter again tonight.
I'm kicking around the idea. I did have my bourbon, but I'm going to probably go out here and refill the tender, have it ready to go.
How far where are you planting at right now?
I'm in Bolton, so it's
so
pretty good drive, and man, that tender pulls like shit.
Yeah.
It's like, it sounds awful, and I don't know. I want to at least get it loaded and ready, because my plan for tomorrow, the rain's coming in, so my plan is to get out there early, and the field I'm in, I lack about 15 acres. And then I got a 45-acre field right down the road.
Oh, shit. I just checked the weather again.
What's it up to now? What time?
They're saying like 1 p.m.
Oh, gosh. Dang, man. Dang it. I don't want to go back. I really don't want to go plant tonight.
Well, it's saying like 30 and 40% at 1 p.m. It doesn't get over 40% until 7, and then it's at 90%. All right, so I just got to pray that the good Lord is smiling on me.
Dang. Well, see, my plan was to get
that puts a crunch on me too.
I wanted to get these 2 fields planted, and then I got to spray the 45-acre field. Now, one tank will spray that, but the spray needs to be on there for about an hour before it rains. Yeah.
Well, I'm probably, because this hay will be dry.
You going to go out there right now?
Other than the dew. Well, all right. But if there's still just a little dew on it, I might go ahead and rake it up and just.
Yeah.
I'd rather rake it with just a little bit of a dew dampness to it than
it get rained on.
Let it get rained on, because here's the thing. If it catches that rain on it, so it is going to rain tomorrow night. Like it's pretty much no doubt. Then there's, and into Saturday. Sunday it's 36%. Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday are all 60%. Thursday's a 50%. Like, it's like, I don't know when we will get it baled. It's not like it'll catch a little shower tomorrow night, then you get it up in another couple of days.
And hay is like, it's almost like cotton once the bolls have opened. Have you ever seen like a cotton field? Oh, I know you've seen a pretty cotton field that looks good. The bolls are opened up and it's like, man, it just looks great. Like you can't even see down the rows because the cotton is lapped in the middle. And then you get a couple of rains on that field and you go back by there and it's like half the cotton is there. And hay is the same way.
Every time it gets, it's like it just slowly shrinks up. Yeah, just the quality's terrible. It doesn't smell good. The color's off. Like, yeah. And a lot of times, like I had some last year, got wet 2 or 3 times before I finally got it baled. And like they ate it. But like I kept it separate. And like I kind of would just put it out, like, here and there. And it would always be the last rolls they would eat. And eventually they would, like, if they would run out of other stuff, they would eat it. But yeah. So it's not only do they not enjoy it as much, there's not as much feed value to it either.
Yeah. Well, hey, before we close, we got to do the giveaway. I was thinking about that. We mentioned doing the giveaway once we got to like 200 ratings, and we're like 220 or something now. Still urge you, if you're listening, go leave us a rating and a review on Apple or Spotify. But we need to do a giveaway. I really didn't get any feedback on if people want to come in studio or what. But I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
If it's somebody that's interested in doing that, especially if they're local, that's fantastic. And even if they're not local, if they, would be willing to travel, and I mean, we can help with travel expenses, but
yeah,
for some people, this may not be the expenses so much, just the time. And so I don't know. I almost feel like it may be more
to put together like an awesome package.
Yeah, just because I don't know. Like if somebody across the country wanted me to come in the studio with them, I'd be like, no, man, I can't. Unless I just happen to be there for some other reason. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it might be more appealing to a broader audience if we just had a prize package.
I think we could probably come up with some pretty awesome prizes.
Yeah.
I mean, we gave Michael, we gave him that pretty sweet knife.
Yep.
That Essie knife. Thought that was pretty awesome blade and made in USA.
Yep.
But, I think we could probably, if we do that, let's say we make it purely giveaway. I think we need to put about, I'd say 3 or 4 really awesome things in this giveaway.
Yeah.
Some maybe blades, whatever. We can come up with some awesome stuff. And, I agree with you on that. So, guys, I'm going to say by next week we'll have this ironed out. And we'll give you the date.
Have an entry form they need to go do. Okay.
Yep. So y'all be listening next week for the giveaway information. And also, we need to queue up the man.
Oh, is that time? All right.
We didn't talk about what they did to old Trump today.
Start off with 2 words. Made in America.
I don't think there was any doubt what was going to happen there. I mean...
No, I
saw it. I don't know if this was rumor. I was so busy the last few days. Like when I'm on the farm, I spend so little time on social media. Like when I'm at the vet clinic, just because I've got 2 minutes of downtime between appointments, and stuff like that, and I'll be on my phone. But I saw where somebody had said that Trump's website for because of course he's been fundraising, crashed right after the verdict and all that hit the news. Like people were just like, People that are fed up and had enough knew the whole thing was rigged against him. At least that's my opinion. I mean,
Yep.
it was what they caught him. I mean, even if he was guilty, it's like, what? Like, why are we wasting time? Like, literally some of the stuff that some of these other politicians have been accused of, allegedly. But it's like there's pretty compelling evidence that, like, these politicians are doing some really, really, like, nefarious things.
Yep.
Or their family members are. And they just skate by. Like, literally, y'all are trying to crucify this guy just because, he pissed off everybody at pretty much every level of politics, which is kind of why I like him.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, do you got a company tonight?
I do have a good one. One I can't believe I haven't ever done. I've had them written down on my list for forever. Then actually a buddy of mine, John, texted me a couple of weeks ago. He's like, "Hey, here's a company you should have." And I was like, "You're damn right."
Horny goat weed?
Is it made in America?
I don't know. Probably.
No gas station boner pills. WeatherTech floor mats.
Have we not done WeatherTech?
Now I might have to go back through our entire list because, Lord, we're approaching 150 episodes now. But I don't think
we may not have. I'm surprised.
Well, I was cleaning out my wife's car one day. He's like, "You need to do them." I was like, "Man," it's like, "Yeah, I have those in her SUV."
I got them in my pickup.
I don't I'm trying to think which. No, actually, my Ram truck, it's got the vinyl floor, so I don't have any floor mats in there.
That's how mine is.
But yeah, it is a made in USA product. You can get them, they're custom made for your vehicle make and model.
Yep.
But yeah, he texted me. I was like, that's a dang good one because that's what it was. I was vacuuming like out her car when they cleaned it out. I was like, oh, it's made in USA. I need to put that on the list, and I never actually put it on the list
Gotcha.
until he texted me that day, and I was like, yep, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I've got those in my my pickup is WeatherTech mats, and they're great. Yeah, they're great mats. I can't believe we had never done them.
Yeah,
That
well, that
really
was one
shocks
too.
me.
I was like, whoa. I was like, how have I not ever, like, this is a product I've probably been using as long as anything that's made in USA.
Yeah.
Because used to, if I bought a vehicle, that's the first thing I would do. Pull out the carpeted mats. That's so damn stupid.
Yeah, I hate the carpeted ones.
My Ram, I'm not even sure. I guess my Ram is a tradesman.
Okay, yeah, it's just like mine. Yeah, it don't even have mats.
Yeah, like it. Of course, I bought it used, but
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, well, it's got vinyl floor. It doesn't need mats, as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. But yeah, like in the SUV, like it's got the carpet. Like I've never, like, maybe if I'm driving like a luxury sports car, like, okay, I want carpet in the floorboard, maybe.
I don't even know if I would then. I think I would want rubber.
Yeah, it's the floor.
Yeah.
And so I've never understood carpet in the floorboard of a pickup for sure.
You don't take your shoes off when you're driving and go,
Definitely an SUV. Yeah.
that does drive me crazy. It's like with us like building or us have over there at the farm store, we'll ride over there in Marcy's car sometimes, and her Tahoe has those damn carpet mats.
Oh,
and we'll get out.
Put any WeatherTechs in there yet?
No, and it's a 4-wheel drive, so it's like that's so crazy. But we'll get out.
Because even if you just walk across the concrete, like you still get in there with a grit, like all
and it gets all in there. But especially, it's been muddy when we've been over there, and you'll get in there, and then you got mud in the carpet, and it's like a pain in the ass to clean out. And yeah, that's what I'm always thinking. I'm like, what dumbass had the idea to put carpet in here?
I've actually been playing around like online. Sometimes I'm just bored. I'm like building a pickup, and like I'm pretty sure it costs you money to do a carpet delete. I'm like, that is stupid. I guess because it's so standard, like they have to alter the assembly line.
Yeah.
You change things up. All right, this asshole ordered one with no carpet.
Yeah.
Like no, like that makes
a carpet delete.
Like if I was president for a day, I would eliminate property taxes. Abolish the ATF. So it'd probably really be down the line, but I would make it a rule that you couldn't put carpet in the floorboards of at least trucks and SUVs.
There's some weirdo that's taking their shoes off and like rubbing their feet in the carpet or something.
Yeah, maybe some of these mom SUVs, like they're not really an SUV, the crossover SUV.
It's the chicks that put their feet up by the mirror when they're driving.
Which I hate that. We'd go on a rant forever. Like these crossover SUVs, like, buddy, that's an SUV. That's a minivan pretending to be an SUV.
Yeah.
Like some of these, they ruined the Ford Explorer.
Oh, it looks hilarious.
I don't know what year it was, because like used to the Ford Explorer was an SUV. Like a dude could drive it and like still have a set of nuts, between his legs. Now, like, no, if you're a dude, you can't drive an Explorer unless you like.
No, it's a mom car.
Yeah,
it is a mom car.
It's a minivan. It's like the modern version of a minivan. Like, like they completely ruined that vehicle.
Now, see, that's where, and I'm obviously privy to my Chevrolet and GMC, but that's one of the things. Like Marcy's Tahoe. At one time, she was talking about she like hates the black because it's black, and she loves it when it's clean. She hates it because she can never keep it clean. And she was like, I'm just gonna trade this one in. And at one time I was like, hell, I'll just buy yours. And I said, I'll take it. And I said, because it's 4-wheel drive. I was like, hell, I'll throw a lift on this thing, put some wheels on it, tires. I mean, it's actually got black wheels on it now, so I'm like, I'll throw some tires on it, because it has a real aggressive, like, it still looks really aggressive. They've got like the headlights are kind of tough looking in it, and
which the Expedition is a good looking vehicle, and it is still a real SUV. But I do think Chevy definitely with the Tahoe,
they went more aggressive style. And I think the Blazer,
a dude can still drive a Tahoe and have his man card.
Yeah, the Blazer, I think,
and I would say the same for the
with
Expedition, but it's like there's no SUV smaller than that still allows you to be masculine and drive it.
What about a 4Runner?
I think 4Runner's okay.
I was gonna say 4Runners, and I've seen that there was a pretty cool one around here that was like olive drab, and it had like black wheels and stuff, or even a tan color, and it's like, man, that's actually pretty cool looking.
No, I think Toyota definitely gets that right.
Yeah, even the old, I actually really like the old, like Land Cruiser. Like Jack Carr's Land Cruiser. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah, those are badass.
They are. There was one at the shop for a little while.
I mean, Toyota, they've got, the Land Cruiser, the 4Runner, and the Prius. I mean, you got those three, you can't be.
Do they still make the Prius?
I don't know.
The vagina on wheels? That's what they call it in the other guys. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, there you go. Get your WeatherTech mats. Go to agzaga.com. I don't think they sell WeatherTech, but go on there, get what you need. Use the code TalkDirt, all caps, all one word.
Yeah, check out the anniversary sale. They got all kinds of good stuff on there. I used some of their bell wrap today. I thought I was going to run out of bell wrap and have to put a new roll on there, and my hay wasn't quite as good as I thought it was. I still wouldn't have thought I could have made it that many rolls with what I still had on there. I rolled 65. I would have thought I didn't have enough wrap to do maybe 30.
Oh, dang.
But no, I got to 65. Like, I really don't think I'm going to get more than 2 or 3 rolls tomorrow before I have to change it. Maybe in the rain. The rain really does have me worried now. So y'all tune in next week to find out if I had a bunch of hay get wet.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week. Leave us a rating. Leave us a review. Find out about the giveaway. And let us know about the jorts. Comment on our YouTube video. Let me know there. Or email us, because I want to get some feedback here. All right, guys. We'll see you.
Yep. Y'all have a good one.